Hi folks, this is Tech with Aakash channel, and I am like I was very busy with my work schedule, folks. So I was not able to upload the videos consistently. So I'm very sure I will be delivering the content like on the daily basis. You'll be getting the content, folks. So sorry for the delay, folks. Okay, so don't worry about the particular content. You will be getting the like day-to-day basis. You'll be getting the content. Okay, now in this in this video what we'll be going to do is we'll be going to whatever in the previous video which I have told you, that how to fetch the data, like in terms of whatever the format it may be. Okay, so like whatever we'll be going to do is in this video we'll be just trying to create a function to fetch the data. And I already written the code and what this particular example end-to-end machine learning project will look like. I will just demonstrate you folks how the things will be going to take place, how the analysis will be going to take place. Okay, so like I'm just giving you like summarize the video, folks. Okay, like I'm not going to teach you how the analysis will be going to work upon. Okay, in the later parts will be going to work upon. Okay, how the things classification will be going to work, how the things later parts later things will be getting clarity. Okay, end-to-end machine learning projects, how the things will be going to work. Okay, in this video we'll just try to focus upon like machine learning housing data set. Okay, so our task is I have just written here like our task is to predict median house values in California districts given the number of features from these districts. Okay, so it is very clear from this machine learning project is like we have to predict the prices of the house. Okay, it is an house pricing data set. Okay, so for the setup what we have done is here we are importing the modules and we are importing the matplotlib library, and we are just cross checking like which particular version of the python it is. Okay, so what we are going to do, first library we are just importing here, import sys, and we are just checking that whether the what is the version of the system. Okay, asset is like kind of a assertion, like you are just telling to your system that what kind of a version it is actually. Okay, what is a sklearn version actually, right? So after that what we are going to do is here we are just importing the numpy library which is used for the mathematical computation, complex mathematical computation. Okay, you are understanding, right? So these are the things we are just doing the setting up actually. So matplotlib, so we are just importing that is also we are importing the library here, and we're just trying to like what is a like some of the functions we are just writing here. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are just trying to save these figures into particular directory actually. So I have one particular directory which I have already created, so I'm just doing this, and we are just making a directory into this images path, and if it is exist, okay, we are just trying to write it as we are just sending the parameter as true. Okay, so we are just creating the functions here. Now, it is not a mandatory, folks. Okay, I'm just giving you such a like overview part. It is like if I'm saving the figure, so how the things in which particular extension it should save. Okay, so what we are doing is we are just writing here something like this actually. Okay, like something like this. Okay, so we are just save this. Okay, so we are getting the data now, right? So getting the data is something similar as like you are digging into a organization DB or something relevant to that. So what we are doing, why we are using this import OS library? Why? Because we have to handle some of the requests, right? we have to make some of the directories, right? So for certain operation to perform, we require this library. Okay, tar file is used for the uncompressed file. Okay, it is in the Linux file. You have noticed that tzip file, tzip file, tgz file, zip format. Some kind of a zip format will be there in the Windows file, right? So these are the compressed file. So we have to decompress that file. We have to take the data and we have to extract that into some say a comma separated values format, file format, right? So what we are doing is to make the request, we are just uses urllib.request, right? Then we are just taking three variables here. One for like to take the root directory here. Housing path, OS path dot join datasets, and we are just trying to focus about the housing dataset here, right? So now housing URL is, we have this URL, in that we have a particular directory called datasets. In that datasets we have a housing directory. In that we have common file format, compressed file is tgz file. Okay, so it will go to that directory. Now to fetch that housing data, what we are passing here is housing URL we are passing here. See, this URL we are just passing here. This download root is nothing but this one, right? Root URL is something like root path slash API calls, right? To create some data. Now understand here, like I'll just try to make a very easy format for it. Okay, like if you are just trying to call the API calls, okay, API calls I will just trying to focus on later parts works. Okay, now this is a data science part, so I will be not focusing more on the API part. Okay, it will be more focus on development part actually. In the development part we'll be going to focus on the API calls and all. Okay, so see here, so this is a root URL. Now let's say this is xyz.com now, right? xyz.com. Now this domain is for you. So after purchasing this domain, you will be having a file manager or cloud service for you to store the files. So in this file, understand, if I am just focusing about root, right? Root, in this xyz https://xyz.com. xyz.com. Now slash housing, right? In this housing we have a particular file called as housing.tgz, right? So housing.tgz file is nothing but something like, you can considering it of like zip file. So we have to this zip file, if you want to extract, right? So we have to compress that file, we have to extract that file. Okay, so this is a extraction process. So to fetch that housing URL and housing path, right? So these two things, URL and path, we are just trying to take that. Okay, these two parameters we are passing here. If os.path is not a directory housing path, then we are making that directory. We are just creating another path and we are just using that compressed file. We are just going to that file, right? Then we are just making a request and we are just retrieving that URL. Okay, then retrieving that URL, we are just going to that path. Okay, we are just going to into that directory and we are just opening that path. Okay, we are extracting, we are just extracting all the contents of that file into that directory. Okay, So after that we are just closing that file. So this function will be going to close. Now this has been done fine. So why we are doing this? So we don't have to write, we don't have to call again and again, right? So this is a basic agenda for us basically. So we'll be creating a small function, we'll extract all the files which is there in that particular location, particular server it may be stored. Okay, this is a particular URL which may be stored in GitHub, which may be stored in any workspace, which may be stored in AWS cloud servers or GCP or any cloud service, any particular private hosting service, right? So this is the thing. So now what we are doing is we are just fetching that housing data now. Okay, we are just fetching this particular function. Okay, we are just running this, and we'll just try to check that whether we are able to read this particular data now or not. Okay, so we'll just try to quick look into the data structures now, how the things will be going to work upon, right? So we are just trying to focus on, see here. So we are able to see the longitude, latitude, house median age, total rooms, total bedrooms, population, households, middle income, median housing value, and ocean proximity. What is the particular, how the data is looking like, we are able to see here, right? So these are the things we are able to see now. The next thing we'll be going to use, like particular info method will be going to takes place, like how the data is going to look like, what type of data it is. So for that purpose we'll be going to use the info method. Okay, so what I'll be going to do is here I'll be going to use info method here. For what purpose we are doing, basically for, I will be going to write that now. So you will be getting to understand why the info method I am using here. Okay, to get the quick description of the data. Okay, so for what purpose we are going to do is quick description of the data, actually description of the data. So in total, how many number of rows is there, how many number of null value, non-null values is there, or null values are there, how many null values are there, how many null values are there. Okay, how many total records are there. Okay, total records are there. Okay, total records are there. So in order to get the quick summary of the data, okay, so for that particular purpose we are using this housing.info method. So see here, so we are able to get this particular data here. So we just try to understand here, there is a float values with the 9 records, okay, 9 columns. Okay, in that one particular thing is an object. Okay, that is nothing but ocean proximity. Okay, I understand. So this is a thing. If you just understand here, there are 20,640 particular values are there for the longitude, longitude, everything, right? So like non-null values you are getting here. Okay, so this is a particular thing, and if you just trying to see this, this is a particular thing you are able to see. Now we have to understand, like, now how many number of ocean values are there, right? Like how many number of particular counts are there actually, right? How many times it is repetitive, how many number of things is there. So that we are, what we are doing is we are just trying to find out the value underscore counts here. See, in the 1 hour 1h ocean, this is number of values are there. In land, sea, ocean, in the ocean proximity there are certain type of values here. There is a island is there, there is a nearby is there, there is a near ocean is there, right? So if you understand is here, this is a classification kind of a thing is there, right? Like categorical values, you can understand that. Now if you want to understand the statistical analysis, now for that particular purpose, we'll be going to focus on the describe. Right? We'll just try to understand about the describe function here. Now, in the next video, we'll try to understand, folks. I will just make this video very short and crisp. Okay. So, in the next video, we'll try to understand like statistical point of view, like what is a count, what does it mean, what is a what is a 25, 50, 75% is actually mean actually. Okay. I am understanding that you already know about everything. Like you don't have to understand. Like if you know little bit about the statistics, okay, little bit you can just google it out. Okay, so I will just explain you statistical point of view according to the data. Okay, in the next video we'll just try to focus. Okay, in this video, that's it about this video, folks. If you understood like the way I'm teaching, so just comment it down below. I'm just understanding you can make more video in detailed manner. Okay, if you're not understanding, so just comment down below, folks. You are not able to understand, just try to make a more descriptive way to understand the particular statistical point of view. So I will just make that video as well, folks. Okay, so just uh, comment down below, folks. If you are not able to understand, just I will be replying over the comment if you're not able to understand. Okay, that's it about this video, folks. If you like this channel, if you are enjoying this channel content, and if you are really liking the way I'm able to explain the concepts for you, okay, so what you can do is you can just hit like and subscribe and comment below. Okay, that's it, and don't skip it, folks. Don't skip it and watch it. I'm recommending you like watch full length. Okay, one shot you can just watch the video. If you are not able to watch, just take a time, take a 2 or 3 days time, just watch full video. Okay, so I will be able to understand that